Today I'm going to show you how to construct a pattern from Seville in Spain. I have the underlying grid already completed. I'm going to attach the tracing paper and draw the pattern on the tracing paper. Mark the centre. And then open up the compass so you have a small margin just along the side. Our circle is already divided into 2. We're now going to divide it into 4. Place your compass on the right-hand side intersection and draw an arc that begins on the circle and continues into the corners of your space. You'll do this 4 times. Twice on this side and twice on the other side. Concentrating on these bottom 2 intersections, we're now going to create a 3rd intersection below, which lines up with the centre. Now, if you need to change your compass width, as long as it's more than half of this distance, you'll be fine. Place it on one side, draw a small arc, and using the same distance, draw another arc. Repeat at the top, and you'll find that these 2 intersections line up with the centre so that you can draw your vertical. Line up your ruler very carefully. Now you've divided your circle into 4 quarters. Now we adjusted our compass, so we need to put it back at the distance of this circle's radius. So check it carefully. Now placing at the north and the south intersections, we're going to create the actual corners of the space by drawing these 2 arcs, making sure they cut the lines that you drew earlier. This allows us to divide our circle into 8. We're going to draw in the diagonals, making sure they go through the centre. The pattern we're drawing is going to be contained in a square. If you want to tile it and repeat the pattern, you can do so by repeating the square. Okay, so we have our tile and we have it divided into 8. We're now going to draw another square which has its corners on the circle. I always extend the lines beyond the corners I need to make sure that the pattern continues outside the circle. We're going to draw a second square, and this time its corners are also going to be on the circle, but on the north, east, south and west intersections. So in amongst all of these lines, we do have an 8-pointed star. We're going to draw another set of lines that create a smaller 8-pointed star at the centre. So look for the intersections of where the two squares meet each other. If you want to circle these intersections, go for it. If you're able to see them, then you don't have to. So joining these two, we're going to create 4 pairs of parallel lines. So this is our first pair of parallel lines, a second pair going across, and then 1 pair and a second pair going diagonally. Now for the diagonals. The underlying grid is now complete. We can now outline the actual pattern. Firstly, the outline of the square tile. You can do this in a dotted line, as you will erase it afterwards. This pattern concentrates on creating an 8-pointed star at the centre. So we'll draw that in, making sure we leave a gap for the 8-pointed star, and extending the lines all the way to the very edges of the square tile. We're now going to do the other square to complete the 8-pointed star at the centre. Lastly, the larger square that has its corners on the circle. Lift off the tracing paper to make sure the pattern is complete, and if it is, we're ready to transfer it to the watercolour paper. I want to tile this pattern 1, 2 across and then 2 upwards, so 2 by 2. Therefore notice the size of my tile compared to the size of my paper. Try and make sure you measure your paper and choose an appropriate size for your construction. I'm going to draw in some guidelines, a horizontal line lightly across the page, marking its centre, and a vertical line as well. This will allow me to place my tiles 1, 2, 3 and 4 times, all lining up carefully with one another. So turn the tracing paper upside down. Position the pattern carefully using the guidelines underneath, lined up with a dotted line of the edge of this tile. Attach with the masking tape ready to transfer using our spoon. Lift off the tracing paper and check if you need to apply a little bit more pressure. If it's okay, move your tile across to the next space. Again, making sure it's lined up carefully, as well as with the lines with the previous pattern. Onto the third tile, lining up the patterns as well as the guidelines. The last tile is often the hardest because it has to match the pattern to its side and below it. So do it carefully and get the best fit possible. The pattern has now been transferred and is ready for colour. I'll be using felt tip pens. I'm using greens and blues and want to put two colours together in each shape to create a more organic feel, and I'll be trying to leave a gap, a small gap between each shape to make it feel as though it's like the tiles in Seville. Often in the tiled patterns you see, one of the colours is a neutral colour, like black or white. I'm going to use grey, so it looks nicer and more complete. So just adding the last bits of colour to these blue shapes. All the colours have been added. The final thing to do is to erase some of the visible pencil lines through these white channels.
Waking up. When we wake up, This is what we read.
الحمد لله الذي أحيانا بعدما أماتنا وإليه النشور.
And again.
الحمد لله الذي أحيانا بعدما أماتنا وإليه النشور.
Now you repeat.
الحمد لله الذي أحيانا بعدما أماتنا وإليه النشور.
Good. And this is what it means. All praise is for Allah, who gave us life after having taken it from us, and unto Him is the resurrection. And here's the dua we read just before sleeping.
بسمك اللهم أموت وأحيا.
And again.
بسمك اللهم أموت وأحيا.
Once more, a new copy.
بسمك اللهم أموت وأحيا.
And this is what the dua means. In your name, O Allah, I live and die.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنا أرسلنا نوحا إلى قومه أن أنذر قومك من قبل أن يأتيهم عذاب أليم. قال يا قوم إني لكم نذير مبين. أن اعبدوا الله واتقوه وأطيعون. يغفر لكم من ذنوبكم ويؤخركم إلى أجل مسمى. إن أجل الله إذا جاء لا يؤخر لو كنتم تعلمون. قال رب إني دعوت قومي ليلا ونهارا فلم يزدهم دعائي إلا فرارا. وإني كلما دعوتهم لتغفر لهم جعلوا أصابعهم في آذانهم واستغشوا ثيابهم وأصروا واستكبروا استكبارا. ثم إني دعوتهم جهارا ثم إني أعلنت لهم وأسررت لهم إسرارا. فقلت استغفروا ربكم إنه كان غفارا. يرسل السماء عليكم مدرارا ويمددكم بأموال وبنين ويجعل لكم جنات ويجعل لكم أنهارا. ما لكم لا ترجون لله وقارا وقد خلقكم أطوارا. ألم تروا كيف خلق الله 7 سماوات طباقا وجعل القمر فيهن نورا وجعل الشمس سراجا والله أنبتكم من الأرض نباتا ثم يعيدكم فيها ويخرجكم إخراجا. والله جعل لكم الأرض بساطا لتسلكوا منها سبلا فجاجا. قال نوح رب إني إنهم عصوني واتبعوا من لم يزده ماله وولده إلا خسارا ومكروا مكرا كبارا وقالوا لا تذرن آلهتكم ولا تذرن ودا ولا سواعا ولا يغوث ويعوق ونسرا وقد أضلوا كثيرا ولا تزد الظالمين إلا ضلالا مما خطيئاتهم أغرقوا فأدخلوا نارا فلم يجدوا لهم من دون الله أنصارا وقال نوح رب لا تذر على الأرض من الكافرين ديارا إنك إن تذرهم يضلوا عبادك ولا يلدوا إلا فاجرا كفارا رب اغفر لي ولوالدي ولمن دخل بيتي مؤمنا وللمؤمنين والمؤمنات ولا تزد الظالمين إلا تبارا